Hello, hello, hello everyone. Welcome back to Rebecca's Gift Box. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are on this planet. So today, um, I'm going to start, I want to start doing my wedding album, okay? Making the cover itself, the frame, okay? So, I usually go on, well, not usually. I like to go on Shelly Geigel's website, her YouTube channel, and I watch hers a lot when it comes to making albums and stuff like that. So I like the way she did her Sleeping Beauty album, as in the papers on the inside and mostly like the cover, but I try not to copy everything that she does. I'm definitely not using the papers that she did the Sleeping Beauty on, because she used the Sleeping Beauty's paper by Stamperia. I'm not planning on using Sleeping Beauty. I'm going to use the paper pads that I showed you from the wedding materials video that I showed. So, but my structure is going to be based off her Sleeping Beauty album, okay? So, because I want to use that, take advantage of that 8.5 by 11 cover frame, book frame, album frame. So that is basically what I'm going off when it comes to making the album itself. Well, the base album, okay? So I'm just going to go through what I'm going to be using here. So the first thing that I have here on the table here is some Tyvek. Now Tyvek is good for making albums, especially when you're going for the spine, because you don't want the book to come apart. So using Tyvek will hold that when you have your spine right here and you have those little sections there that has that little spacing. Well, if you put Tyvek in between there, it'll hold the spine with the two covers together, so it won't deteriorate. That's what holds it together. That's what keeps it together. It's strong. You can't rip it. You can cut it, but you can't rip it. So it's very, very good to use when you're making albums, okay? So the next part is the spine, okay? The spine that I have here is going to be 2.5 across and then 8.5 down, up and down, okay? 2.5 by 8.5. That is the spine, okay? Now the two covers, the front and back, you're going to need 2 of those. I am using some chipboard. Well, actually, I couldn't find my chipboard, so I found some. You know those sheets that you get, like the poster boards, the real thick ones? Well, this is like the medium weight here of the poster boards. It's the same thing, okay? It'll do just as good. By the time I put the paper on there, it'll be just nice and stiff, just what I need. You're going to need 2 of those, which are going to be 8.5 by 11, okay? On the other side is black. So I just cut it down to size because it was a big poster board, you know, what you put on the wall. It was nice and thick. It was thick enough for me to use for the covers. So again, you're going to need 2 of them, and it need to be 8.5 by 11, okay? So that's that. Now for the cardstock, I am using, I believe this is, yeah, here we go. This is the Recollections White. This is the linen texture cardstock. This is the only thing I could put my hands on at the moment, which is fine, even though it's going to be covered mostly. At this point right now, I can't find my other paper, my 12 by 12 white cardstock. But this is going to be fine. She recommends that you use the 80 pound, but I don't have 80 pounds. But she did say you can use the 65 pound, which is what I have. So you go and use the 12 by 12s, okay, and that's what I'm using. So you're going to need one 4.5 by 10.5. That's going to be the inner spine. I think she has that labeled down as the inner spine. What is that? The 4.5 by the 4.5. That's the album wrap. That's going to wrap the spine on the inside. inside, okay, to wrap the spine on the inside, okay. And then you're going to need 2 of the 10.5 by 12s, okay. 2 of the 10.5 by 12. That's the album wrap again on the outside for the covers, okay. That's going to do with covers. Now this is, no, actually this is on the outside. So these are going to be on the outside. This is going to be on the inside to use to cover the chipboard, to wrap the chipboard. That's what that is. It's a wrapping. It's to wrap the chipboard. Duh, Rebecca, come on, get it straight. Don't confuse everybody. I'm confused myself. Wow. All right, so the next thing is you're going to need 2 of the 8.5 by 10.5. And those are going to be 8.5. Did I cut that wrong? It's supposed to be 8.25 by 10.5. So I'm going to have to cut it down some. But you need 2 of those. It needs to be 8.25 by 10.5. But let me just measure this. Maybe I did cut it right. 8. Yeah, I did. I just wrote it wrong. So it's 8.25. I just wrote it wrong. It's 8.25 by 10.5. You need 2 of those. And those are the inner covers. Those are going to be on the inside of the covers once you've wrapped the book up from the outside. Okay? So that's what that is there. And then you're going to need one piece that's 8.25 by 4. And that's the one that goes on the inside of the spine. Okay? The inside spine. Alright? And then lastly, you're going to need 4 cardstock, 4 pieces of cardstock, 8.25 by 11, and those are going to be your pages, okay? Once we score it, put it in the book, those are going to be the pages, okay? So let's go ahead and get started, okay? Let's put this to the side. I need that. Put that to the side. Put all my cardstock to the side. Oh, I'm also going to be using some a quarter inch score tape to do all my taping. Okay, so if you don't have that, you can use glue. All right, I don't want you going out there, running out there to get any glue or anything. So the 2 outer covers, the 10.5 by 12s, and the 4.25 by 10.5. That's why. So this is going to go this way, this way, this way. That's how that's going to go. All right. So the 3 pieces that you have to put together first is your wrap. Okay. So you're going to put tape on both these sides right here. No, actually, you're going to put tape here and a tape here. Well, actually, I don't like doing that. I'll put tape here and tape there. That's what I'm going to do. And that's what you're going to be using to wrap your chipboard. Okay? So let's go ahead and do that. Actually, it doesn't really make a difference if you put it on the spine or outer pages. I'm so used to putting it on the pages. So I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to think about it because I'm thinking too hard right now. I'm just going to do it. And you don't want nothing hanging off. Once you see any tape hanging off, you want to make sure you clip it because you want everything. I mean, it has to be perfect. Nothing hanging off or anything like that. So you want to make sure that everything is right. Okay, we're going to burnish that down. Make sure there's no bubbles there. So you'll be able to stick this down. Okay. Let's get this tape on. Let's put this on. Okay. Okay, that's that. That's one down. Now let's do the other one. Let's turn it this way. We are going to take this slow because I don't like to make any kind of errors. I want to make sure everything is good and right. These things I don't like to rush through. Because when I start rushing, I start making mistakes. And I don't like making mistakes, especially on my albums that I'm making. So make sure we cut those end pieces off. I don't want those on there. Okay, let's go ahead and varnish the glue tape down. Make sure there's no bubbles. Okay. Usually I have this against a my trimmer to make sure I get it all nice and straight, but I've done it so many times. At this point right now, I can probably do it with my eyes closed. Okay. That is done. Alright, so the outer frame is set. Okay. This is your wrap that you're going to wrap your chipboard in. Now for the chipboard, what did I do with my chipboard? There it is. First piece that you want to lay down is going to be the spine. Okay, the spine is going to go right there in the middle. Okay, right there in the middle. You want to leave like a good inch from the top here and then an inch from the bottom. Okay, and then these are going to go on the outskirts like that. You don't want this piece that you glued together, your little tape part right here, you don't want that to be in the section where you're going to be folding, where it's going to fold. So you want to make sure that this is going to go, this piece is going to go over that place, that spot where you taped. Okay, because we don't want that to be in the middle where you're going to be folding. So, and you want to try to leave at least an eighth to a quarter of an inch in between. I usually leave an eighth, but this time I think I'm going to leave a quarter because of how much is going to be in the book, in the album. So I want to leave a good nice spacing because I don't want it to be like an alligator mouth. Okay, I want it to be nice and set. Where it's nice and straight, not an alligator. It might be a little bit alligator, but not as much, because it all depends on how much you put in the album. Okay, so let's go ahead. The next thing that we need to do is we're going to tape this all up, tape and put it down. Okay, but the first thing I want to do, I want to measure an inch from the top and an inch from the bottom, because I want that spacing, that inch spacing on each end. So let me just measure that real quick. Which is going to be here. So my inch is going to be there. Pretty good. Now to get this centralized, let's just see how 2.5. Now it's supposed to be 4.5. 4.5, right? 4.5. So 4.5 divided by 2, right? So that's 2.5. Well, no, 2.25. 4.50 is 2.25. 2. That's not going to be right. So we're at 4.5 right now. Take away an inch there. Take away an inch. Put an inch over there. Let's see how that goes. That works out pretty good. So an inch on each side and an inch from top and bottom. That's how it's going to be. Okay? I'm going to just make a lightly mark here so I know where this is going. That's where it's going to go. Let me just zoom in a little bit so you can see it better. Just like that. Okay? We're going to put it right here in this central part right there. Okay, so we're going to tape this bad boy up really good, because remember, this is the spine. This is the spine that's going to be holding everything together. The outer pages, we're going to have our inner pages here. So, and a lot of stuff is going to be on those inner pages, and we want to be able to make sure that that spine is going to be able to hold everything. So you want to completely tape this up. Okay? No spacing on this tape, on the chipboard. So I'm going to go ahead and tape this all up, and I will be right back. Okay, thank you for waiting. Now I have this completely covered in tape. I am going to go ahead around here and cut off the little pieces that are hanging out. We don't want none of those hanging down. Now don't forget to remove that tape from off your scissors, because you won't be able to cut. I've done that so many times that I forget to take it off. Now we're going to remove the tape. And this is a quick little thing to do. Now I did have to use one piece that was 1/8 of a piece of score tape. It was just a small piece in the middle here, towards the end, I meant to say, that I had to use it for, because I didn't want none of the board to be bare. So I wanted to make sure every single piece of this board was covered. And here's that little piece right here. There's that little piece right here of that 1/8 that I used. And then for the last piece right here, okay, so let's go ahead and put this spine piece down. Now take your time doing it, okay, because you want to get it correctly in where it's supposed to go, and it needs to be straight, okay? Excuse me if my head is in the picture, in the camera. I don't mean to, but I need this to be straight and in the right spot. There. Burnish it real down real good. Make sure it's going to stick, no bubbles. Okay. We got one piece down. Now we're going to put tape on both the other boards. Cover the boards completely. Then we're going to lay them down. Okay. Don't forget to leave 1/4 of an inch in between for the spacing for the booklet. Okay. what I usually do is measure my 1/4 inch so I know exactly where I'm putting it at, because I need it to be exact. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to do that real quick. Inches there. Again, please forgive me for my head. Okay. And I usually just draw this line here so I know where I'm placing. I know where I'm placing. Okay. Alrighty, so go ahead and tape up your boards. Okay. What I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to do my first one. Okay. And then I'm going to go off camera and to do the other one, and then show you how and then place them down. Okay. So let's go ahead and just do this one real quick here with you. I usually go around the outside first. Okay, last piece for this outer side here. And then I'll go down the middle. In the middle of this section here. Middle of this section here. Middle of this section here. Then middle. Middle. These are just the covers, so you don't really have to think about putting too much tape down for this section here, okay? So since that went pretty quick, let me just go ahead and do the other one with you. And then we're going to go ahead and burnish everything down, make sure the tape is down really good and there's no bubbles. And then we're going to go ahead and remove the tape and then place the boards down, okay? We're also going to be cutting off those ends if there's any ends hanging off before we place it down. A lot of this stuff is repetitive. If you haven't done an album before, this is a great way to learn how to do it. If you are familiar with making an album, you don't have to watch this section. You can go ahead and fast forward, okay? But if you just want to go ahead and watch me do it, by all means, welcome to it. Because not everybody does it the same, okay? Everybody has their way of making an album, and which way makes them comfortable doing, or they're familiarized with them, or just that works best for them, then that's the way to go. Okay, this way here works for me, and being that I know that this album is going to be kind of big, I want to make sure that everything is going to be stuck down. Nothing's going to come off, so I want to make sure. I know it's using a lot of tape. Yes, using a lot of tape. So make sure you have enough tape. I'm telling you right now, make sure you have enough tape. Because if you don't have enough tape, you're going to have to switch back and forth from tape and glue. And sometimes I don't like doing it. It all depends on what section I'm on working or what kind of album I'm making. So I'm more comfortable of using the tape than I am with the glue. I mean, I have made albums with the glue. And when I say glue, I'm talking about the glitter glue. Okay. I don't like to use just any kind of glue when I'm making albums, because like I said, you want to make sure everything is sticking down. Nothing is coming up, coming apart, and you want it to be making sure everything is sticking. All right, so we're just going to cut off those end pieces here. All right, so that's one. That was first down. We're going to do this next one here. And I know I should just go across it real quick, but no, I like to go through each one, making sure everything is sticking down. That's just me. That's my preference. You don't have to do what I do, okay? You don't have to do what I do. I'm just giving you the guidelines of what you need to do when it comes to making an album, okay? So. Now you can watch, the best person to watch is Shelly Geigel. Now there's another person that I used to watch in the past. Her name is Rosa Kelly. She has some beautiful albums out there, as well as Shelly Geigel. But I connect more with Shelly Geigel, and I've made so many of her albums, and I just love the way she works and her papers and the papers that she uses. Oh, it's just, and she makes it so easy. She makes it so easy. So, alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and remove the tape now. And then we're going to go ahead and stick this down. Okay, so this is our first one right here. We're just going to turn it over. We want to make sure that we have this on here straight. Okay, and we want to make sure that we're even. That's what I want to do. I want to make sure that we're even with the spine. Okay, that should do it. All right, so let's go back and do this. Okay, now take your time, because score tape is not forgiving, and you should know that. Once it's down, it is down. I think I'm crooked. I really think I'm crooked. Alrighty. I don't think I can fix it now because, like I said, score tape, once it's down, it's down. It's down, it's down. You're not going to be able to tell once you wrap it up, hopefully. Only person who's going to know that it's not straight is the person who's doing it, which is me. Because I'm, like I said before, when it comes to doing these albums, especially the wedding albums, I want it to be perfect. I definitely want it to be perfect. And that's why I do all these lines, because I want it to be straight. But I mean, if you don't have it on there straight, it's not going to be what the right way to do it. See, I almost messed up that time. There we go. Okay. Alright, now we're going to fold the edges, the ends, so we can fold. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see it better. There we go. The sun has finally come out in New York, and the last 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, it has been up in the 90s. So my sinus has finally equaled itself out. I don't have a headache, but I can't say the same thing for my arthritis. My arthritis, when it starts getting hotter and hotter, it doesn't want to cooperate with my body. If you hear any popping, that's what my arthritis is popping. I mean, I took medicine, but it does what it wants to do. So, but it's beautiful outside, up in the 90s. It's beautiful. But I'm inside crafting, because you know why? I love to craft. Okay. So what we're going to do now, we're going to fold the edges. Now when you fold, you don't want to stretch it, okay? You just want to lightly fold it over, okay? Just fold it over like that, and just like bend it, you know, you want to let the fibers do its own. Once you start bending, it'll start stretching on its own. Just remember, this is a 60-pound weight paper, so you don't want to do too much to it. Just lightly do it, and it'll follow you, okay? Now you don't want to leave too much spacing between if you can see right here. Let me just bring it up to you. See right there how it's folding right there, that line, and then here's the chipboard and here's the line. That's exactly how it should be, because it's folded right against the chipboard, okay? Just going to lightly over, and then you're going to lightly push it down to get its form, okay? Now I like to do the long sides first and then do my short side. That's my preference, okay? Some people like to do the short sides first and then do their long sides last. I like to do my long sides. I definitely messed up on that side. Definitely messed up on that side. Okay. Now we're going to go and do the short sides now. Get that all done. Open that back up. I'm just tapping it down. When I say that, reminds me of, what is that movie, Happy? Tap, tap, tap. I'm so silly. Oh, man. Oh, boy. Church was beautiful yesterday. On my Sabbath, Saturday. Learned a lot. I think I learned a lot about Moses and Isaiah. Well, the two witnesses, that's basically what the lesson was about. And there were some things in there that I didn't even know. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. All right, so now what we're going to do is cut the corners. Should I cut the corners? No, I'm going to lay the tape down first. Actually, I can't even do that. I need to put the tie back down. We're going to put the tie back down first because we want to lay that over the tie back. So the tie back is next. Tie back is going to go here on the two ends like so. Right there, right there, like that. That's where the tie back is going. Okay? Now, what I like to do, I like to put tape on that end, and then I put tape on here too. That's just me. That's just me. Okay? So you don't have to do it, or you can just put it only on the tie back itself. But like I said, I like to make, when it comes to that spine, I'm taping it. I'm taping everything, because I don't want nothing coming apart. Okay, I'm going to do the two sides, and then I'm going to put one down the middle. Yep, one down the middle. Everything gets taped up for the spine. I don't want to miss nothing. Okay. Where's my scissors? I'm going to cut these ends off. Nothing over there. Okay. Then we're going to do the next one. So how's everybody's weekend so far? Everything good? Everybody having fun? Having warm weather, hot weather, going to the beach? My first time to the beach is when we had our family reunion in North Carolina. I think it was Williamsburg? No. I can't remember where it was in North Carolina. Well, my cousin lived there, so she was hosting it that year, which was the last year we had our family reunion, which in 2016. Beautiful. Went to the beach. Yes, the sand was so hot. Couldn't hardly walk on it. But I mean, I was passing it by because we had just left. My mother wanted to go to the aquarium because the aquarium was right there on the beach. And she wanted to go to the aquarium. And we took our trip there to the aquarium. And before we left, when we left the aquarium, she wanted to walk around the beach before we went back to our hotel. So we got to the beach. It wasn't far. It was good. It was walking distance anyway. But we drove the car and parked it. We got there to the beach. I parked the car right next to the walkway to get to the beach. I said, okay, Mom, you can go ahead and start walking out to the beach, and I'm going to go ahead and park the car. No, I think I'll sit right here. I'm like, what? What? I mean, I did all that, and all of a sudden now you don't want to go to the beach, out to the beach? You're going to sit in the car? So, you know what? I parked the car. There was a space right there in front. I left her in the car, of course, with the windows down. And me and my son, we went on the beach. We were there a good 30, 45 minutes. It was beautiful. Beautiful. I got me some shells, got a little sand. And he went out into the water. It was just a great day. We had our little fun on the beach. Then it was time for us to go. But it was the fact that she wanted to go on the beach, to the beach. And then she didn't want to go out, get out of the car. I'm like, what? Oh my gosh. I couldn't believe it. It wasn't, you can't make up these things. You cannot make up these things. I think I'm just not going to put it on there. I don't think I'm going to need it. So let's go ahead and place the tie back onto the board. Okay. You want to make sure you get these kind of evenly on there, right there on the edge. Don't worry about if it's little bubbly there. It'll flatten out. It'll flatten out. There you go, just like that. Just like that. That's one down. Let's do the other. I'm not sure if I burnished this down, but I'm going to go ahead and do it again, just in case if I didn't. Okay. Once we get this down, we're all halfway finished. Oh. All right, so don't forget, we're going to try to get this evenly on here. As evenly as you can get it. Place her down. And that is it. Okay. And that is it. That's how it is. Okay, now we're going to cut the edges, because once you fold the edges, you have this little square on the ends. And we're just going to do a little cut here and a little cut here, because we don't need this, this little square right here, we don't need that. Okay, so we're going to cut, let me just zoom in a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about. We don't need this spot right here. Okay, see that little square right there? There's a line right here and there's a line right here. This square, this section right here, we don't need it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut a little bit off at an angle here. And we're going to cut a little bit off on an angle here. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, and we're going to do it on 4 corners. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Now when you also cut, you don't want to cut straight up to the edge of the chipboard. You want to leave like an 1/8, excuse my nail, want to leave like an 1/8 of an inch there at the end there. Okay, do not cut right on the edge of the chipboard. So just like that, you want to cut it. Okay, and see that little bit left there? Like that. Okay, that's what we're planning on. That's how we're going to do it. Okay, do it for the next 3 corners, and then we're going to start wrapping. Okay. One more. Alrighty, so the corners are done. Okay, now we can start taping up and taping everything down. Move this knife out of my way. I don't want to get myself cut. Move this out of my way. Put you over here. I gotta put this glue back on here. This pin back on this glue. It's already getting hard. Okay, so we're gonna put tape on the chipboard all the way around, and then we're gonna put tape on the paper. Okay, and all the way around. All right, that's what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and start. We're going to do the chipboard first. One more corner. Okay, let's do the paper now. Like I said, make sure you have plenty of tape because we use a lot of tape in this making any album. But you know, some people like to use glue. If you're a glue person, go for it. I'm not saying that you have to use tape. I just prefer tape. I use glue as well, but not for everything. Now, here is a time where I will be using some glue. I'm going to rub this down first. Now, I like to put some glue in between here, like on this empty space right here. I like to put glue there, because like I said, I want to make sure everything is going to stick down, okay? So, where's my glue? There it is. So let's go ahead and do this top portion first. It's a long piece. We're going to move this a little bit here. Move that down a little bit. There. And then I'm going to take some glue. I'm going to put it in this in-between space right here. Because like I said, I want it to stick. And then I usually just take this and rub it against the edge of the board so it'll go down. And I go in the middle first, and then I work my way out. Just like this. Middle, work my way out. Then I take this smooth side right here, and I take it along the back of the board here, and just go straight across to make it flat. That is it. That is what I do. Now, we're going to go to the next side. Put that back down. And see how flat that is? Nice and flat right there. That's how it should be. Alright, so let's move this one. Let's remove this one. We're going to move this down a little bit. This down a little bit. We're going to add some glue. And you see that I'm not adding much, just so that it'll stick. Okay? Then again, I'm just going to rub my finger along the edge of that board. And then I'm going to push, well, not push, I'm going to fold it down. Work it in the middle, and then work my way towards the end. Go to the other side, do the same thing. Take my straight edge here and go against the board like so. And we're set. Now for the corners. I'm going to go ahead and move the tape for good now. call them corners when they should be called sides. But before I do that, we want to make sure that there's going to be no pointy edges on the corners. So what I usually do is take my, either way, the ends here, this end here, and we're going to do a circle. Just go around that edge just like that, so there is no pointy end. And then I do the same side, do the same move here. Just go around that corner like so. That doesn't work. I just take my finger, I lift it up, and I fold that end piece in, fold that end piece in, because I do not want a pointy end. I want everything to be nice and round. And then I'll take my glue and put it down. I'm going to do the same thing we did to the other piece, and then we're going to start in the middle and work our way out. Start in the middle and work our way out. And there we have a rounded end here. It's not that pointy, it's going with the book. So everything is right, just how I want it. And I just messed it up. Okay, I'm gonna leave it. I'm not gonna mess with it. What I should have done was cut that piece. Hopefully this is gonna be covered when I put the inside paper in. All right, let's go ahead and do the other side now. Remove the tape. I'm just going to go ahead and use my finger because that's what I'm used to, is using my finger to round that corner. This end here does not want to cooperate. Okay, that'll be enough. I don't want to mess it up. Perfect. Perfect. Exactly how I wanted it. Okay. And so now you have, thought I'd clean my table off. Here we have our book. And it's even. Just how it should be. Now, what I don't think I did this. Or did I? I know I didn't do it to the ends, to the sides. Let's go ahead and do that. Make it nice and flat. Now it should be nope, so it's going to be this way. Yeah, it's going to be this way. Right there. So I'm going to put an F right here in the middle so I know that this is the front, because when I stood it up, it was evenly. But I put it on this side, this one was coming out. See, when I put it in there like that, it comes out. But this side over here, now it doesn't, oh, there we go. Perfect. I'm sorry. See, there we go. Whereas this side, it was going out too much. So I put a little F here so I know that this is the front and it's opening up evenly. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and do the inside. We're at 37 minutes. We're going to get our 8 1/4 by 4. That's what's going to go right here in the middle, like so. That's going to go right here in the middle. And it should fit in between those pieces of where we had glued the papers together, the outer pages together. It should fit right there. You want to leave like an 1/8 of an inch from the top and out the bottom. So it should be evenly spaced, just like that. Okay, and then we have 2 of these that are 8 1/4 by 10 1/2, and they're going to go on the sides over here like so. And everything should be evenly laid. And that's how it's going to go. Okay, so let's go ahead and tape. You're going to tape everything up. All right. We're going to go just like we did the board. Okay, so we're going to go on the outside. We're going to go around the outside, down the middle first, then the middle of this, then the middle of that one. Okay, and if you want to, you can do a little middle. Okay, so you want this because you want it to stick. That's how I do it. Okay, you're going to do it for both those sheets here. Okay, and for the spine piece, you want to cover that completely up, just like you did the spine. All right, so we want to tape all the way around, completely cover it up completely, because if you leave any kind of spacing of the paper showing, when you start to fold the paper, when you start folding the book, it's going to bubble, and you don't want no bubbles. You don't want no bubbles. So you're going to completely cover this with tape. Okay, if you have some white tape, go by all means use it. Okay, I don't think I have any white tape. I wish I did. Let me tell you, I wish I did. So that's what we're going to do, and that's what I'm going to do. And when I come back, we're going to go ahead and tape everything down. Lay everything down. But right now, I want you to go ahead and tape everything up if you're following me. Okay, I'll be right back. Alrighty, I'm back. We got everything taped up here. I done varnished everything down. Let's go ahead and tape it all down to the boards here. Okay, so we're going to start off with the spine piece, and as you can see, everything is covered. I happen to find my Elizabeth tape, and I think this is her tape is 2.5 inches. So it's a 2.5 inch wide tape. I mean, like, I couldn't see myself using that 1/4 inch tape all around, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, but I found it and I used it, and then I have a little piece right here of a 1/4 inch that there was a space. It didn't want to go on straight, so I improvised there. So we're going to cover this spine piece right here. We're going to cover it up evenly, and we're going to leave like like 1/8 of an inch from on top and on the bottom. Don't forget to remove your tape edges, okay, because that can mess you up. And we don't want that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this piece down. Hopefully I get it on there straight, because I did not do my lines this time. I don't know why I didn't, but for some reason this didn't want to tape down. So let's try this again. Let me remove this first, and then I'll tape it down. And then I'll put it down. Move that. Put this on here, because I don't want no gap. You understand what I'm saying? No gap. Because I don't want no bubbles on my wedding album here. Get this down. Now let's remove it. Hopefully it sticks. Now it didn't want to come up. Okay, so let's get her down. Like I said, try to put it on there as straight as you can get it. Hopefully I'm in the camera here. There we go. Well, not my head. And we want like 1/8 from the top and 1/8 from the bottom. And we want to make this evenly as possible. It's good. It's not evenly, but it's good. It'll work. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the sides now. I'm going to work on this one side first because I am a righty. So we're going to put this side down first. Let me cut those ends before I remove the tape. Okay. Okay, let's remove this. And you notice that I put the tape down on the side that I wrote on because I don't want that on the showing. So that's the side I wrote on. So that's the side that I put my tape on. All right. So let's get this down. I did that pretty good. Okay. I'm just going to give you a close-up here so you can see what I got here. There. That's what we're working with right there. Okay. So let's do the other side. Get that down. Let's cut these ends parts here. Okay. We're almost done. We just have to put this down and then we have to work on the 4 pages that goes on the inside of the book, of the album, and that'll be it. In the next video, we're going to work on decorating the cover and possibly start on pages 1 and 2 and see how far we get. So I'm not going to do too much on the first day. Okay, let's get this one down. And I have to work from the bottom up because that's what I'm working off. Now you imagine there's this piece of tape showing here. Actually, we're just going to turn that around so you can see. There. Okay. That's much better for me. Ah, what's going on here? I would say that we did pretty good. Pretty good, right? Pretty good, huh? Yeah. You can't even tell, right? Now, when we want to fold this up, we want to take it really slow. We want to hold this down and just slowly bring this up because we don't want no cracks. We don't want no bubbles. If you taped everything, excuse me, if you taped everything down, like I did, it should be no bubbles. But make sure you just like smooth this down really good so the tape is sticking on there really good. And we're just going to bring it up real slow. We're going to bring it up real slow, and we don't want to bend it all the way. So, and just slowly bring it up. And where your hand is, this hand, that's where you're going to stop. Okay? Like right there. Just like that. We don't want no cracks on the other side, on the spine. Remember, just bring it up slow, slowly, 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 slowly. And there we are. No bubbles. Voila. Okay. Alright. Okay. There we go. Alright, so now we're going to work on the 4 pages that goes on in the spine. And that's what we're going to do right now. So you're going to get your 4 pages that are 8 1/4 by 11. Okay? And on the 8 1/4 side, that's where you're going to score a 1/2 inch. Right? Score a 1/2 inch. Let me get my scoreboard. Okay. Alright, so 11 inch, on 11, you're going to have the going 11 inches, okay? And then you're going to score it at a 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch, okay? 1/2 inch. Score. Oh, let me bring you over a little bit. 1/2 inch. And we're score it. We're going to do that on all 4 pages. Don't press down too hard. It all depends on what paper you're using. Okay? All depends. This one here, I'm not going to, being that it's cardstock, I'm not going to press down too hard because I don't want a hole in my paper. One more. I'm just lightly doing it, and I'm doing it twice. Okay. That is it. We're going to fold them. One more. Okay. Then I'm going to take my tape, because being that this is the side that's going to go down, because you want to go down like that. So you want to tape this side. Okay. So I like to turn it over. Put my tape down. I don't have any 1/2 inch tape, so I usually put 2 rows of tape on here, because like I said, this is what's going to hold the page down, and I want it to hold it down. Don't put it right on the score line. You want to put it next to it, not on the score line. Okay? one more. And we're going to put the pages in the book, and then we're going to call it done for today. And then our next video, we're going to start decorating the cover. I have no idea how I want to do it, because I have no idea which one of the paper paths I want to use. But by the next time you see the next video, I have already decided. Okay? Let's burnish these down so I can cut them, cut the edges. Okay, any edges I need to cut here? Edges on that one. A little bit on that one. That one's good. Alright, let's try that again. I want to cut. There we go. And one more. Now it looks like it's going to rain again. This weather doesn't know what it wants to do. Alright, so here's our spine right here. There is our mark, a little edging right here. And that's what the first page is going to be based off, okay? So, can't use that one. I'll use that as the last page. Even though it's going to be covered up, so I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, so, nope, it's going to go this way. So this is how it's going to go, just like that. It's going to fold up. And this is what's going to be taped down. So this edging is going to meet up with this edging here. So when you hold this page up, you'll have your guideline right here. And remember, this is your top right here, this line right here. Let me bring it up for you. We are going to be based off this line right here and this top line right here. We do not want to go over that. And we don't want to go over this edging here, okay? So when we hold this up like that and place this on here like that, it should meet up top and bottom, like so. That's how it's going to go, just like that, okay? So let's go ahead and remove the tape and taper down. Once you get the first one down, first page down, the rest are going to be easy peasy, okay? Very easy. The first one is the hardest one. If I get my head in the camera, I do apologize. It's not straight. It is not straight. Let's see if I can get it up real quick. Very slow. I got it. It took some finessing, but I got it. Oh my gosh, almost messed that up. But I was determined. Determined. It's as straight as I'm going to get it. But I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. I'll do with that. Okay. Now the next couple pages will be easy, because you're just going to line it right against the other page. Okay, here we go. It's like doing surgery. Perfect. That's 2 down. All right. Okay. That's 3. I even have room if I want to put another page. I think I might just do that. But I'll just wait. I'll wait. I want to see how this looks first. I might have room for another one. No. Because it's evenly spaced. Yeah, it's evenly spaced. See? I'm not going to have room. It's not going to look right if I put another one here. So the 4 pages are enough. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10 pages altogether. Front, back, that's 2. There's 2 on each page. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. So we're going to have 10 pages in this album. And it's looking really good so far. And I'm liking this. I'm loving this. Because this is exactly how I want. I want my wedding albums have to be on point. Okay. I mean, all my other albums when I make, they need to be on point. But I take special care when I make my wedding albums. Okay, so that is all that we're going to do today. Thank you for joining me on this journey, making this wedding album. And on the next video, to continue this, we're going to work on the decorating the cover and possibly doing page 1. Because this is page 1 right here. This is going to be page 1. This is going to be page 2. This is going to be page 3. This is page 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so those are our pages And we're going to be working on the front cover. We're going to do the spine, back page, spine, front cover, and if we have time, page 1. Okay? Alright, thank you crafters for joining me. Have a good evening, and as always, have a blessed day. Goodbye.